This is Ndtv, and you're watching Classics. This is Ndtv, and you're watching Ndtv 24/7.
Hello and welcome to Ndtv. I absolutely love saying that. I think I can say that over and over again.
You're watching India This Week.
I'm Natasha Jog.
Big focus this evening, but first the headlines.
The BJP has made big news. 1st of January 2000, the start of a new millennium. The day I walked into the newsroom at NDTV, a near empty newsroom. Clearly, New Year's leave at that time was far easier to get than what it has become now. There were just very few people around, and almost everybody talking about the party the night before, the New Year's Eve party the night before. And naive as I was, I thought that's what the newsroom was always going to be like, very, very quiet. Well, that's clearly not how it turned out. I've been with NDTV for 14 years now, and Rajdeep, I remember, was one of the hotshots that I met soon after I joined. Within a few days, he was just back from his New Year's leave. He met me really warmly and later said he was glad to have a fellow Maharashtrian in the newsroom. That's, of course, till he realized that I was one of those pseudo ones. Within 2 months or so of joining, there was a massive Naxal attack in Bastar. I remember the reporter who was meant to go was not around. Backup number 1 wasn't available. Backup number 2 wasn't available. So I was asked to go, and that was sort of my first big assignment.
"23 police officers had received information about Naxalite activity in the region, in a particular area. So these people were going there to check out the situation there.
The first time that I saw the kind of violence, the dismembered bodies, and nothing really prepares you for what you see on the ground. It really was something. In fact, I remember being numb and cold. I remember that day very, very clearly. And I think I had to be sort of dragged out of my state by my camera colleague, Sanjoy. Somehow we did make it back, and Mrs. Roy had met me soon after I came back, and she said she liked what I did. And like everybody else, and this is again something that remains unchanged, we all sort of do really relish and appreciate, and I'm even very glad for that pat on the back. Some things that just don't change. There's an increasing number of suicides by farmers in Punjab. Phenomenon. At a time when the voter in Punjab is very disillusioned.
The state BJP is
They have once again refused to let women have a greater say.
Natasha Jog, Star News.
In the first year, I also had the opportunity to spend a few months in Chandigarh, and that's where I got a first-hand account of what running a bureau was all about, being sort of far away from mothership, as it were, but managing things on your own. I got a whole host of opportunities, from politics and what the Akali politics was all about, to the Chandigarh Zoo and the latest tiger cubs that they had there. I really covered a whole gamut of stories.
Zoo authorities here at the Chandigarh Zoo are collecting blood samples from all carnivores, including tigers and lions, to screen them for infections.
Couple of years being very eventful, from Naxal attacks to standing outside morgues, I remember, for the longest time in winter, late into the night, waiting for post-mortem reports on, among others, on Shoaib Ilyasi's wife, to the cloudburst in Himachal Pradesh and the devastation that it wreaked. We are at Baro, one of the worst affected villages in the Kulu district. As more bodies are recovered here every hour, the number of casualties is increasing at an alarming rate. The other side of the spectrum, cricket matches that our MPs were playing, and stories on the latest films and blockbusters. One did get a lot of opportunities, to do a whole lot of work, as long as you wanted to do it and you were reasonably good at what you did. The opportunity was yours, and that is something that in NDTV has remained unchanged.